Pat Olson alongside Jim Brovelli. We're in Las Vegas inside the USF Dons team hotel. Dons gearing up tonight to play LMU, Loyola Marymount, in the West Coast Conference postseason tournament. Jim, before we jump into that matchup, the Dons have won 3 in a row coming into this tournament, which is, good news. You want to be on a little bit of a roll, right, as you come to Vegas.
Yeah, that's what you hope for, Pat. You play the whole conference schedule, hoping to play at your peak going into the conference tournament. And it seems like that's what USF is doing, and they're playing as well as anybody in the conference right now. Even Gonzaga's kind of slid off at the end and not playing their best basketball. So this thing could be up for grabs in this conference tournament to the team that's got the high momentum.
And speaking of momentum, the Dons play a Lions team that won last night. Any advantage at all for LMU? They played a game here. They're probably feeling pretty good about themselves as they hit the court tonight.
Yeah, they do, but USF has already beaten them twice now for the third time they play. I think you can throw all of those things out. I think you take one game as a separate entity, and that's what it is, and you hope to get by that one game. And as far as advantage, disadvantage, just that USF has a higher seed than Loyola, so they're favored. So, the pressure's on USF to take this one.
Jim, this tournament format is interesting because, and we've talked about this often over the years, in the sense that it's a one-and-done deal. So teams play a little bit different sometimes. Getting through that first game can kind of get you in relax mode, and then maybe you can then kind of get going.
And that's the mistake, Pat. You don't want to come into a conference tournament and do anything different than what brought you there. And particularly if you're a hot team like USF, or a team that's really high up in the top 4-3, you don't want to play different. You're a good team. It's taking you this far. Play the same way and let the other team make the adjustment. But right now, I don't think USF's going to try and change or play any different. They've been pretty consistent all season long. They've been very resilient when they've been behind, and they've been pretty steady, and I expect that tonight.
Jim, let's talk about the venue. Here we are again at the Orleans Arena. It's been a tremendous venue for this tournament, and I'm looking for a fun weekend here.
Oh, tremendous. BYU and Gonzaga, of course, bring the most fan base. The place is going to be packed regardless throughout this tournament. It's exciting for fans because of the atmosphere and the environment, not only at the Orleans Arena, but in Vegas. You're in Vegas and having a good time, and it's really that tournament atmosphere, which is really, you can't ask for anything more.
Let's break down this matchup. As you mentioned, USF beat LMU twice during the regular season. Yeah. Not easy either time, because LMU really wants to limit the number of possessions. They want to slow down the ball game. So I would imagine if USF can get out and move up and down the floor a little bit, that they'll have a good chance here tonight.
Yeah, and that's important to find some easy baskets, because what Loyola can do, I say they can ugly up the game a little bit by really controlling that tempo and keep it hanging around. They keep the game close. If they get ahead, they can really be tough. But if they hang around late, even if they're behind 3-4 points, they can still get you. And the last game that USF-Loyola game down at Loyola, USF had a 10-point lead and a little run at the end by Loyola. They had a chance for that last shot. So you don't want to have it that close if you can. So somewhere along the line, you want to find some easy baskets, pressure them a little bit, see if you can force some turnovers and capitalize on the turnovers.
All right, the Dons and Lions go tonight inside the Orleans Arena. If the Dons win the ball game, they will play tomorrow night against Pacific. But first, you got to get by this LMU team tonight. And we'll have the broadcast on the radio side, 5:45 for the pregame. It's a 6 p.m. tip-off tonight in Las Vegas. Alongside Jim Brovelli, Pat Olson on USFDons.com.